I'm spending 24 hours in an ancient Bushman cave. I have been dropped off in basically the middle of nowhere. I've got about a half a kilometer walk that way. There I will find my supplies and then I'll head to the cave. I've set some challenges to complete, but more on that later. The supplies are by that sign. I've got a sleeping bag, 5 litre of water and some goodies. My first challenge is getting all of these to the cave, which is right over there. Normally I would just walk straight to the cave, but there's a river and the only way to cross is on that side. So now we begin with the groot trek. Let's talk about the rediscovery of this cave. Approximately 4 years ago, a group of farm workers decided to escape the summer heat. They spotted a cave and walked the same path in search of relief, but they discovered so much more. As I walked, I thought about the last time that I crossed this river, which was right after a great flood, which is where all these reeds came from. That crossing was a lot easier than the last time that I did it. So thank you to the guys for cleaning up and making the route nice again. The guys being the Oaks from Levain Guest Farm. If you also want to visit the cave, contact them and they'll sort you out. Why not somewhere stay there while you're at it? Just look at how the flood water came up here. Now is a good time to mention that I can teleport by pointing my finger. This takes a lot of energy and that's why I'm so out of breath. And not because I'm extremely unfit. Yes! It's basically 9 o'clock and I'm in the cave. And with that, let the 24 hours begin. I decided to unpack my gear. And to my surprise, my sleeping bag had a broken zip. Oh, luckily the backup zip was broken as well. I've been threatening to do this for years and I'm glad I can finally spend a whole day and a whole evening in this cave. With the mosquitoes, yay! The rules are simple. I am allowed to leave the cave but not the area. I need to make a fire and then cook a steak to eat. Find ways to entertain myself, because I'm not allowed to use a cell phone unless it's an SOS. And I'm not allowed to eat any food that's been preserved. So I've got a steak that I'll make later, and fruit, and a 5 litre of water. And that's it. There's quite a few creatures that you can find that stay in this cave. Mostly dussies. And you can see that they have been here quite recently. This is probably where they spend the evening. For a second that looked like a baboon poo, but I hope not. I can actually hear the baboons somewhere around those hills. So I'm gonna do my best to scare them away. Bow! 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 They just replied. That might have been a bad idea. Or... Bow! 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 I need to make a spear. Like now. So I set out to find some wood. Baboons are getting closer, but luckily I found some good trees that look quite solid. Now let's get some defense going. Fortunately I brought my knife and I proceeded to decapitate an alien. This music makes this way more dramatic than it needs to be. Long story short, I made a short spear, and a terrible one at that. Maybe, yeah, let's make a better one. You know the drill, so here you go. Now you want to stick them with the pointy end. Hear them. Good enough. One more. There we go. With my spies, I was now feeling way more confident than I should be. And the worst idea that I could think of is conquering my crippling fear of slight heights. I'm already a tall guy, so going further up isn't my favorite thing. When I eventually got to the top, it was definitely worth it. Since I can't afford a drone as I'm not monetized, this is as good as it gets. From here you can see the whole river as it bends through the harsh Karoo soil. That is roughly where I crossed the river earlier. And then it continues on its way. The only problem with being on top of the world is, at some point, you have to come down. For this, I suggest the very manly way of scooting down on your behind. As I was halfway down, I spotted something that is very much needed. Wood. After making my way further down, I found the mother lode right next to the cave. Ow. And now for some firewood ASMR. Ah, idiot. The weather forecast for today says it's going to get over 30 degrees Celsius, which is hot, but tonight it's probably going to be quite cold. So before the heat of the day, I'm getting enough wood together that'll last me through the evening as well if it does get cold. And also to make a fire to braai my steak on. I think this is enough wood for the braai, but not for the whole evening. So I'm going to have to go out, up, and get some more wood. I won't bore you with that, but check this out. I had to figure out a way to make a plate for my lunch. And what is there loads of here? Young reeds. Hey, sounds like a great name for a surfer. I also found a poo-poo-free rock. Okay, keep in mind that as a 30-year-old white man, I've never actually weaved anything in my life. I am what you call a beginner amateur. So after a few off-camera attempts, I finally made my masterpiece. And now, how to blunt your knife like a professional. And because nobody asked, this is how you peel an archie in one go. Now the plate reveal. It's small, but it'll work. To take your fruit salad to the next level, honey. Now that's a fruit salad that'll have the wiggles waggling. This is my caveman review of a fruit salad. Very informative. It's so quiet and it's so relaxed that I've spent most of the day laying down just alone with my thoughts. Let me show you the paintings. Humans have been visiting these caves for a long time to leave their mark behind. And most of them is easily recognized, but some are a mystery. Especially this one. What the f***? There's loads of different bucks. And what appears to be a small-headed fat man
with tiny arms and legs, possibly a drawing depicting a time of plenty, or a waterskilpad. But behind it is a whale, conveniently pointing south towards the ocean. Drawing over someone else's drawing wasn't really frowned upon. That's probably what happened to this baby elephant, with the rest pointing towards Naisna, where elephants were common. These drawings are in essence a map. But out of all these paintings, one brought me back to this sacred space. A human figure with a bow holding two creatures. Its body is a squiggly line representing water. A water person, if you will. And below it, the swallow people. Bushmen believe that swallows can travel to the land beyond by the way that they quickly enter a cave, and thus some believe this to be a depiction of a ritual, possibly to bring forth water. I can't argue with that, but the ones on top are mermaids. Swallows don't have elbows, they don't fish or carry spears. And they also don't make fire. Do I have to mention the fact that we can see fingers here? But these are all assumptions. The people that made these paintings have long since passed. Ja, dankie Jan. Guess you'll have to make your own assumption. So what do you think? Tune me in the comments.
The sun is now slowly entering the cave. I've made a little makeshift fireplace. I've got some firewood. And the steakies, I went for ostrich steaks, as the Bushmen would find ostriches and eat them. I really like this spear that I made, so I'm going to take some time to make this nice. I'm also going to decorate it with some string that I found. This is going to take a while. But through the magic of editing, I have a just spear. Look at this thing. And now it's time to make a fire. I'm only cheating slightly because I've got some tissue paper to get it started. And I'm going to use a lighter. I don't have time to do the... Also, I don't know exactly how to do it. So if you know, just let me know. A Busman vuurtjie is like a teepee that we're going to build. So we're going to start with that on the inside. And then some nice small sticks that I've gathered.
And yes, people that know how to make a proper fire are probably screaming at me right now. But I can't hear you.
And you can slowly put some larger sticks around.
I'm too busy making a cockfire.
Eventually, once this gets going, I'm going to put some even larger sticks on there. Ha! I really hope this works.
It doesn't. Ignorance is bliss, but it's folly to be wise. Did you know that's the full saying?
There is one stick that took. Let's hope that one stick is enough.
Only I could find the driest of dry wood in the Karoo and still...
Nope.
Look, a traditional stick dance. Let's try that again while using more than just one brain cell. And yes, that's what I needed. Just look at my superior lung capacity. Jakes make fire. Jake's happy chappy. Look, I found a friend to keep me company tonight.
The fire's looking good, so now it's time to prepare the steaks. The one I'm just going to chuck on the coals, but the other one I'm going to glaze with honey. This is either a very good or very bad idea. Got our two steakies. So this lucky steaky we are going to glaze with honey. Lots of honey on this guy. Oh yeah, boy. Rub it in. There we go. Moi. Just waiting for the fire to burn out, and then we'll chuck this steaky on there. Just as the sun is slowly setting. I'll move most of the fire to the side, except those, but I'm going to chuck the steak on now. Here's our honey steak.
So basically you jam your wood in the meat.
Oh, there we go. That'll kill a baboon. Now we just keep it above the fire.
Looking back now, I'd rather cook the steak halfway and then add the honey to avoid the honey burning. Although doing it this way makes for a unique taste.
I'm going to poke it from the other side just now. Alright, now let's get that thick side cooked. First get rid of the old ash. Then put your steak straight on there.
I must admit, my meat looks spectacular with that fire glow. This is the best video that I've taken of anyone's meat, ever.
After a few minutes, you just flip it.
If you want a good steak, don't flip it onto the dead coals. Like I just did.
And leave it.
Yes, I am Jake's the master chef.
Well, that one finishes off. Let's have a look. Oh, nice. Juicy. Lucy. And now, I can take this oakie out.
Yeah, just push it into the ground. Clever Trevor.
Clean this up a bit.
Real men don't complain about heat.
It's hot. Don't want to accidentally bite into a coal. That would not be ideal. A slight incision for all flies. Let's try the first one just on its own.
Yet another caveman review.
Tastes like ostrich. It's weird without any other spices, especially salt. But how is it with honey?
Because the honey got lots of heat, it caramelized, which makes it taste like a roasted marshmallow, which is joss.
This one, winner, ostrich dinner. But this steak is still good. It's got nothing to hide behind, so it's just steak. Now they are still quite red. Ostrich meat you want medium red. Medium if you want to push it, but because ostrich is less than 2% fat, you don't want a well done ostrich. It just tastes nasty. That's good. It was a little piece of charcoal. The honey isn't even overpowering. It's just beautiful. There you go. Honey glazed ostrich flesh. I've kept the fire going. I have a little bit of wood. Got my sleeping bag right next to the fire. Video camera will be there in case I get awakened by anything trying to dig around like they did there.
They did.
Just right next to where I sleep. And then naturally, I've got the spice. Yes, give you the spear. I'm gonna enjoy the last few minutes of the day here. It's been absolutely amazing. But I think the evening is going to get, I don't know. Got the paintings right next to me while I sleep. This is going to be insane.
And so another day ends under the African sun. So I snuggle up next to my fire, blissfully unaware of the night to follow.
I think we've all become so accustomed to phones and doom scrolling and just getting sucked into our phones that we can't really sit and do nothing anymore. When's the last time you sat and you just stared at a fire and listened to the frogs, the sounds of nature, and slightly poo your pants because you don't know what else might pop up this evening? I'm going to keep staring at this fire and face my deep and shallow thoughts. You should try it. It feels terrible. It is officially dark. Oh wait, no. Ah, but it's still pretty much dark outside. Got the fire. I still have a little bit of wood, which means I'm gonna sleep cold tonight.
At least using the infrared on my camera didn't freak me out at all.
One of the best things to carry is always citronella. Not only does it keep bugs away, but it looks cool on the fire. I've officially put the last wood on the fire. I'm gonna go to bed now. Good night. I survived. Barely. I woke up in the middle of the night and went out to go get firewood because it was so cold last night. It's the end of autumn, so winter is coming. Winter is coming. Ugh. My body is so sore. Sleep on the side, my shoulders are absolutely gone. But I did it. So I will sit here with the remnants of a few coals that are left. I think I've maybe got like 3 more hours or something. It's probably about 6, 7. Moch! But it was great. I didn't see any weird things last night. I heard so many weird noises. There were birds and there was something scurrying around here. Oh, it was intense. But I did it and I'm very glad that I did. And next time I won't bring a broken sleeping bag. It's cold. It's the only few pieces that remain. I have restored the fire for old time's sake. I've got 2 more hours left. I'm going to sit here, enjoy the sunrise, and then I'm going to go home. But all I really want is a hot cup of coffee and a shower. Also made an alarming discovery. My head was right over here last night. And right over here is a porcupine quill.
Yep, the noise that I heard during the night was a porcupine. Possibly the same one that left the hole. Anyway, food. It's no summer, but it's still the breakfast of champs.
Breakfast is done. I've cleaned up after myself, I'm packed up, and I'm ready to leave.
Thanks for watching, give it a like if you like it. If you didn't, make sure to press thumbs down twice. I need the view time to monetize, so please stay for another one.